Hey, Dr. Mary.
Hi, Richie.
How about a joke for you?
I love to hear your joke.
What did the obsessive fan say to the comedian chiropractor?
What?
You really crack me up.
Really?
Always. Looking for some sensible science, some atypical advice, or maybe even some down-to-earth diagnosis? That's what you're going to get here at Dr. Mary's Chiropractical. You've come to the right place. I'm your host, Richie Witt, and she, of course, is Dr. Mary Collings. Welcome to your show again. How was S1E1? Now you're an old veteran. She's, of course, Dr. Mary Collings, the chiropractor, who is not here to impress us with big words or health and science where we're going to be. I don't want to understand all the bones in the body. Just get to it. She's going to make big changes in your life with small acts, and that's the beauty of Dr. Chiropractical. S1E2, what do we have on the show today? I'm going to ask you today, Dr. Mary, what's the hardest sport on the back? Because I play some golf, and I've got friends who play tennis, and there's, of course, you treat a couple of a hockey team and a basketball team. But athletes are always saying, "Oh, my back, my aching back." Who's fibbing, and who really is underdoing some pressure with the hardest sport on your back? And of course, we're going to do each week. You give us a little snippet, like a real-world application, a tip of the week. Can I call it the wisecrack of the week?
If you must, yes.
I must. I absolutely must.
Of course.
So what's our wisecrack of the week this week?
Well, many questions that always kind of come through, but one that everybody asks is like, do I put hot or cold on it, like any of an injury?
Or cold. So
Yes.
and I've come to you before with a
Yes.
with a back, with a knee, with an ankle, and I'm just like, do everything. No, hot or cold, and you're going to tell us what is what. All right?
So I'm a big fan of moist heat. I think that's always fine. So hot bath, hot shower, hot tub, always good. But the heating pads that you plug in, not my favorite. So I feel like
They can burn your skin.
It can burn your skin.
something.
It can take protein out of the muscle. It's just not my favorite. I always say go with cold. So it's, it could be acute injury, chronic injury, just a little aggravation. Always go with cold. Doesn't always have to be frozen. Can be just a refrigerated cold pack. Or if it's a specific location, you can do a little ice massage on it. Take some water, put it in a styrofoam cup, freeze it. Amazing how that happens. Peel it down and use it
amazing.
for a little bit of ice massage.
So when in doubt with an injury, go cold?
Always.
Wow. Should be on a T-shirt or a business card. Maybe you should start your own practice.
I like that.
When in
That's a
doubt-
great idea.
When in doubt, go cold. There's your wisecrack of the week. All right, so let's get to your social media because you're everywhere. We have created your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
Welcome to
Very
you're
exciting.
a YouTube star now. That's Dr. Mary Collings. Of course, your Facebook. Your main Facebook is Highland Park Spine and Sports Medicine.
Yes.
That's where Facebook Live is watching right now, if you want to say hello to all your viewers. We got you. Twitter is at Dr. Mary Collings, and Instagram, Dr. Mary Collings. Now, the main place where you want your viewers to go to is your website, which is drmarycollings.com.
Yes.
What can they get at your website?
All kinds of information on the office, locations, map, of course, all of our social media stuff.
Yep.
As well as just a little bio of myself and Dr. Williams that works with me, and like a nice description of my history. And
That's well written, whoever wrote that. I
you
don't
know what? I wonder who did that.
When in doubt, go cold is what I'm sticking with. And of course, if you want to make an appointment with Dr. Mary, you can do that. Las Colinas, phone number 972-256-7114. You also have your office in Highland Park, which is 214-252-0000. I've never heard of that phone number before. Did you buy that number?
No, it's like
Just
was
lucky?
ours.
You're just
Isn't
lucky
that
with
good?
goose eggs?
Right.
Have you ever dialed that number to anybody else in the world?
No.
0000.
Nope.
And then coming soon, you're going to have an office at the Star in Frisco.
Yes, still in the works, trying to get it all kind of figured out, but hopefully in the spring.
Very cool. So you'll have 3 offices at that point.
Yes, I'm a chain.
You are. I need to buy a franchise in Dr. Mary. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Dr. Mary, or maybe you want to criticize her co-host, you never know. Or maybe you want to be a sponsor/partner in Dr.
Absolutely.
Mary's Chiropractical. That's Dr. Mary at drmarycollings.com.
Yep.
Do you answer your email
I do.
by yourself, or do you have a franchise
do
that
it.
handles your, because you're so busy? You answer your own
answer
email.
my own email.
All right, Dr. Mary
Yes.
at drmarycollings.com. All right, let's get started with E2 here on Dr.
Yeah.
Mary's Chiropractical, episode 2.
Very good.
We told people in episode 1, we're not going to take ourselves too seriously here because let's face it, we're dorks. I mean, I've been riding and you've been chiropractic. Do you chiropractic? Is that the verb?
I don't know if it's really a verb.
Riding is my verb. What's your verb?
Adjusting?
Adjusting.
Maybe?
All right.
That might work.
I've been riding. You've been adjusting
for a long time.
30 years-ish.
Yes.
But we still take ourselves too seriously. So let's just kick around a bunch of topics. Some of them
like
have
that.
to do with you. Some of them have to do with your practice. Some of them may have to do with me. Or some of them have to do with this beautiful coffee that we have.
Which I love.
It's warm and so.
Yes.
It's an amber roast. Actually, it tastes a lot like water.
Yeah.
All right, where the heck have you been? You're so busy. And as your co-host, I reach out to you. What do you want to do with the show this week? And you're very difficult to get a hold of.
But I do answer my email when you do email.
You
Remember
do,
that.
eventually. So where have you been since we last gathered?
So last weekend, went to Vegas. So just for a little pre-birthday trip.
A pre-birthday trip.
So birthday's not until Thanksgiving weekend, and that's the hardest weekend to travel. So we always try to, fit it in a little other time.
So you have an appetizer before your meal.
Exactly.
And your appetizer is I'm going to go to Vegas.
Yes. Well,
Some of us blow up balloons for the
Eric and I,
pre-appetizer. You go.
Instead of presents, we always give trips, and so
That's
Eric
good. I
picks
like
out
that.
where to
Now,
take
who's
me.
Eric? I don't know if we've introduced him to the masses.
I don't think we did. That would be the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
Yes.
How long has this boyfriend been?
8 years.
8 years. Y'all are probably serious by now.
I think so. I think you could call it that.
All right, so Eric took you on your trip. He
Yes.
took you to Vegas for his present to you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
All right, and then the other day I was texting you about something like blah, 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 and you wrote me back, right now I'm at the Holocaust dinner.
Yes.
How many charity functions do you do a week?
Not that many. This one
Only when I text you?
Yeah, only when you need me. This was just really dear to my heart. So my dad, he passed away in March, but he was a big contributor to the Holocaust Center and
Gotcha.
Center for Tolerance and Bigotry. And so it's really important to us to kind of keep that going. And I don't know if you know, they've broken ground for the new Holocaust Museum.
I actually did hear that, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's going to be amazing. So they raised $61 million for this museum in a very short amount of time. So it's nice to
Wow.
see the public coming out.
And that's
for
going to
that.
be where in Dallas?
It's down in the West End.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The old West End. I remember that place back when it was hopping. All right, but you also do, in addition to jet setting off to, I don't know, Vegas for a pre-party, still kills me, and you do some charity dinners, and you also do every Stars and every Mavs home game, you're at the AAC.
Yes.
When do you ever just Netflix and chill? Do
Either
you?
6 to 7 a.m. or
6 to
whatever.
7 a.m.
I loved having Netflix on when I'm at the office early. It's like having little friends there. And so I'll get up there early to do paperwork, and it just keeps me kind of focused and somebody to talk to me for a little while.
But do you?
I love Netflix. Are you kidding? It's great.
Okay, I just can't imagine you like, you know what? I've been running around the country and the town. I'm tired. I just want to put on my fluffy, house shoes and watch TV tonight. How many nights a week do you do that?
Not very many.
0 is the answer.
Pretty much.
I tried, trust me.
I do need some fluffy slippers.
All right, I don't know if you were too busy to notice, but last week was Halloween.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
I did.
Did you dress up?
I did not.
Why do you hate Halloween?
I don't hate Halloween. I just didn't.
My
like it.
sources say otherwise.
I just didn't know what to dress up like, and there weren't that many kids. Like we had maybe 25 kids come by the house.
25
Sat
lots.
outside,
More
was
than
so
that.
excited.
You sat outside.
And then my neighbor comes by and says, I'm like, where are all the kids? She's like, oh, they're over on Purdue because somebody had a bounce house and the hamburger man and the taco truck, and they were,
outta
and
here.
so that's where all the kids went.
The
So
taco truck and the hamburger man.
Jose, have you been to Jose yet? A wonderful restaurant in town.
What is that? Give me a plug.
Amazing Mexican restaurant over on Lovers.
What's it called?
Brady Wood opened it. Jose.
It's just called Jose.
Jose.
Okay.
But he's got a really cool taco truck.
Taco truck.
Turquoise.
All right, so you hate Halloween, you went to Vegas, so that's good. All right, so speaking of, and of course, Dr. Mary is the official chiropractor for your Dallas Stars and your Dallas Mavericks. What's up with your Mavericks?
They're trying. You know, I mean, I give it to them like
trying.
it's like any team. I mean, they're you know.
Is it your fault?
It's not my fault.
Okay,
of course
because
not.
we're headed to the lottery.
What does that mean?
It means they're not good at all. It means they're going to be in the bottom third of the NBA this year.
That means we get a good pick
That's
next
the
year,
lottery.
right?
When you're in the
Yeah.
lottery, you
Okay,
get a
all
good
right.
draft pick.
I like
So
that.
if you're going to be bad, be really,
Really bad.
and get in the lottery. So that's where we're headed. So let's don't pull back the curtain too far because it's your job. But people are fascinated about what goes on in NBA and NHL locker rooms. Do you treat players only before the game or after the game as well?
With hockey, before, during, and after, and with Mavericks, usually just before.
During.
Intermissions.
So during intermission, a player will say, "My
If-
hip's out of joint."
Sure, if need
Really?
be. Of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I just learned something. So can you tell the mood? Now you're a sports dork. You love sports.
I love sports.
Right. But can you tell? Oh boy, tonight's going to be a rough night, or by the mood in the room.
Sometimes, you get in there and it's like if it's very quiet and
Yeah.
kind of peaceful, you kind of wonder what's going on. But, it depends on the team they're playing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. If it's another big team or a rivalry, you can see a little bit of a sparkle in their eye.
Now we know you're very talented, but how intuitive are your hands? Can you lay hands upon a player, and do they have a triple double by the way you adjust in that night?
I wish
I do too. You'd really have something.
Vegas would have been a lot better for me if I knew
No
how to do
kidding.
that.
That's very true.
No, but you can usually tell when they're physically well and mentally going. Like absolutely, they're gonna have a good
And
night.
you treat the same players probably for the same, not injury, but condition. Repeat.
It depends. Like I said, depends on the sport.
Right. But I guess what I'm getting at is, can you see the same guy for the same thing one game to the next and say, oh, he's really tense tonight, or he's really, it's work. You know what I'm saying? Just getting a
Yeah.
feel for a player's performance.
A little.
You can say no. It's okay. You don't have to
No,
be
you
mad.
can a little,
You don't
'cause
have to be
it makes
David
it-
Blaine. You can just be a good chiropractor.
Yeah, I can a little bit.
All right, so in addition to all that, so we just talked about everything you've done. How many regular patients at your 2 offices right now do you see per week?
Per week, I don't know. And I try not to count do numbers because
But I'm a numbers guy, so I'm
I
holding
know.
you to it.
I get it.
Okay,
I'd
7,000 is where I'm
no,
starting the bidding.
I'd probably say a comfortable day without being cray-cray
Yep.
is probably about 60 a day.
60 a day.
Yes.
No wonder you don't Netflix and chill. That's crazy.
Well, it's good because you want to take care of everybody, make sure they're all okay.
Okay, speaking of everybody, so, and this is where I really exploit our longtime friendship.
Okay.
I have one of my longest friends from junior high, guy named Hodge, who you know very well. His wife, we were out one night, and his wife was like complaining about her neck. She had migraines. And I said, go see Dr. Mary. You saw her within 24 hours, and I haven't talked to her. Is she okay?
Yeah, I think she's doing very well.
What was wrong with her?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
HIPAA compliance.
I'm just
Thank
going to
you.
ask her then.
Then you can ask her, and then she can tell you.
Was it because she was married to my crazy friend Hodge? Did that play into it?
Possibility.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to our question of the day, and that is, I want to know what sport is the hardest on your body, but mainly your back. Then we'll give you some choices because you see the Mavs and the Stars, obviously. So just the sport of it, not their pre-existing conditions. What's harder, hockey or basketball on the body?
I'd say hockey for sure.
And what do you see with hockey players?
Well,
just
because
in
they're
general?
getting, beat up, and it goes from everything from getting, hit and scattered halfway down the ice to fighting, which, it's still very popular in hockey.
I never understood
Getting
that,
run
but
into
yeah,
the
it is.
boards. I mean, it's just a much more physical sport. Although, we've seen a lot of acute injuries in basketball this year already, too,
Right.
so we know it can happen as well. But I would say definitely hockey's probably a little bit more trying on for the traumatic injury.
Right. So I know you see all body parts and all different conditions, but what's the number one treatment that you have? The hockey player comes in and goes, oh, I'm here for a blank. What's that answer?
It's usually neck or back,
Yeah.
neck or lower back.
Right.
Sometimes it can be a rib too. It just varies on the game and the day.
And you can fix all that?
Well, of course, but we also have a wonderful orthopedic group that we work with
Don't
as
worry
well.
about them. No, I'm giving you all the credit. No orthopedic.
Lots of helpers.
All right, what's harder on your back, golf or sex?
Well, I would think maybe it depends on the
Right. Let's think this through before you just jump to conclusions.
Right. I would say depends on the level of activity and the course.
Good answer. All right, so is golf hard on your back? Because knock on this very fine oak desk, I've never had back trouble from golf, but I know friends who, like, they take a big swing out of the rough and they're, oh, that kills my lower back. Why? Is it the back not made for the golf swing?
Well, I think there's a certain point where we're supposed to stop and not keep twisting around.
Right.
But I think with the golf, it also depends on their physical abilities to begin with. And then also the course. It's like some courses you have to walk, some courses.
Very true.
But I had a patient in this week, and like I really think his whole problem is he always drives a cart. When he plays 3 or 4 days a week, but he drives a cart, so he's always getting out to the left. He never is the passenger, and so a lot of that I think. So we know you guys drive the cart and you're like go zooming, and then you're almost halfway out of the cart to go get to the ball, and so I think that really aggravated his back.
Let me try to talk this through. So getting out of the cart, if he always drives and he plays 3 or 4 times a week, that repetitive motion will screw you up?
Absolutely.
See, that's stuff we never think about. That's why we're having chiropractic.
That's why it's practical.
That's why it's
right?
practical.
Exactly.
I would never think about that.
And so I asked,
what do you tell him to do?
So I said, just every 9-hole switch or whatever he's comfortable with. He said it's because his partner wasn't a very good driver, so that's why he
Maybe
why he liked to
he's
drive.
taking the lesser of 2 evils.
Right.
A bad back, or we're going to wreck in a ditch from this horrible
exactly.
driver.
But so I just recommended to switch over, or maybe walk second ball, so that way you've got a little bit of walk time, and they let the other guy just change up the patterns. That's that repetitive over and over and over that gets you into such trouble.
So what I'm interpreting is that for the episode 3, we should switch chairs, or else I'm going to be.
Exactly, that'd be good.
All right, it's Richie Wittis, Dr. Mary Collings on Dr. Mary's Chiropractical. So you need adjusting in your life. Can
Absolutely.
you self-adjust?
No.
Can't?
No.
Who do you go to?
You know, it just depends. I have Dr. Williams, Jessica Williams, that works for me, so I can either track her down and have her adjust me, and then I have another friend that's about a block up from the Dallas office. And sometimes it's just if somebody's coming in, I had an interview Thursday, and so had him adjust, just to kind of see, get an idea of it.
Really?
There's plenty of us out there. I can always
are.
find somebody to take care of me.
They're not all practical, you know this.
Well, true.
So how many man hours are you on your feet each week? I mean, you seem like you're always on the go, number one. Number two, your job is that you're not very sedentary at your job.
No.
You're up on your feet to adjust.
Yeah, so I'd say, like on a hockey night, I'll be 9 a.m. till 10:30.
And what does that cause physical problems? I mean, do you?
Oh, no, because I'm in excellent shape.
Well, yeah, obviously, but
No,
that's
it taught
why
me a
you're
lot.
in excellent
It
shape.
taught me a lot. Like, it knows that I got to take care of myself as much
Right.
as I
Absolutely.
preach it.
And do you worry about posture? I mean, are you cognizant about your posture during the day? I mean, you're
Yeah.
standing for that long. I mean, you're going to develop bad habits, aren't you?
I know, because I change things around, just like I told
Gosh,
you.
you and your practical.
I have my stand-up desk, I have my sit-down desk.
You do?
Absolutely.
A stand-up desk.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Jansen, we need a stand-up desk
Yep.
for next week,
We're
and I
gonna do
need
a
a chair,
standing.
and I need to switch chairs. Otherwise, I'll be walking with hips
me
that are out
all
of
of-
line or something. Have you ever seen people, speaking of treat yourself, the boy and the girl, could be the husband and the wife, whatever, but one or the other needs, I need to pop my back. Will you pop my back for me? And let's say the girl stands up in front of him and he puts his arms around, like a Heimlich almost.
Yes.
Lifts her up and then violently shakes her, and she goes, "Oh, it feels so much better." Is that good for you?
No, it's not good
You
for
know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And,
People do it all the time.
Of course, and I see it happening.
You
in front of me.
cringe?
Of course I cringe. And where people taking to sit there and start messing with their own neck, it just makes them crazy. But, I've seen somebody break a rib with, trying to give too hard of a hug. Even like you mentioned walking on the back, like that's the other thing. If it's your little kid that's about 35 pounds, I'll give you
Right.
that a little bit. But somebody that's 120 or over, not a good idea.
I had an ex-girlfriend who said, "My back hurts. Will you walk on my lower back?" And last time I checked, I weighed more than 35 pounds. But she loved it, and I could feel it popping, and I was like, "Okay."
But
that's
there was
probably
no
not-
line of correction to it.
There was no line of.
There was. Remember, this is practical, not
was not
specific.
practical,
So I'm
this
not
was,
right. And that's if you don't have a line of correction, you're not going to get something fixed. It's just going to make a noise.
It did make a noise. There was no line of correction.
freaked you
Now,
out a little.
was it bad if I was mad at her if I jumped off, like really violently? Not saying I did it, but would that have been bad?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, then good thing I didn't do it. Maybe I did it after all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about, because I went to you a couple times, and you always have your STEM machine,
Yep.
but you got a million other gizmos and gadgets and stuff. But do you have do you have a move that's your favorite, like your adjustment, your go-to?
Well, I just diversified, which is kind of a little bit of everything. But
Say
I have
that again.
one.
You adjust,
The
diversify.
diversified's the type of technique I
Gotcha.
use. But there's one move that's right for the shoulder and also for the ribs behind the shoulder blade, where everybody gets all kind of gitchy.
Yeah.
I learned from a.
Now, sorry to interrupt you. Gitchy.
it's
See,
a
that's
word.
that's a chiropractical term that we like. I think
Right.
everybody knows what that means.
Right.
But if I was with a, lab coat type doctor, he would not say gitchy. He would give me the muscles and the tendons, and I would be like, I have no idea what you're saying.
A
That's why
sharp
we appreciate
pointing
you.
pain.
Yeah, gitchy.
Gitchy.
Get gitchy with it. Maybe that's the wrong use of it.
That's the wrong
All right,
use.
back to your move. All right, so what happened?
So, it's a move for through the rib underneath the shoulder blade.
Yep.
But I learned it from a chiropractor back in Oklahoma, because he took care of a lot of combine driving and like farmers, and so they'd always have their arm out, looking back behind them, and they'd get messed up shoulders, and so it wasn't taught in school. So it's one of those that I learned it from him, and there's another guy over in Fort Worth. There's not many of us that do that, so I'd say that'd be probably my favorite.
Wow. What do you call it? The de-gitchy?
The shoulder
I need.
adjustment thingy.
I got a gitch. Can you help me out? All right, what's up with people popping their neck?
I think it's a habit, a nervous habit.
Is it? Can
Not-
it be debilitating? Is it therapeutic,
sure.
or is it just?
No, because again, we go back to that. There's no correction to it. It's just a noise, and people get in a bad habit of doing that. Then when it doesn't make the noise anymore, they kind of push harder, and of course, you can cause a lot of damage with that.
People just want the noise.
I think they want the noise.
We're very mental, aren't we?
I
In this
think
world.
so.
What about the thoracic twist that I just made up? Do you think that's something?
But I like that.
That sounds real, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you even know where the thoracic area is?
Yeah, it's down by your pelvis. Isn't it?
It would be the middle part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
okay,
I
here's your
didn't say
anatomy
at all.
lesson today.
Okay, go.
The foot should be stable, the ankle mobile,
Yeah.
the knee stable,
Yeah.
the hip mobile, low back stable, mid back mobile, neck stable, shoulder mobile, elbow stable, wrist mobile, hand stable. So every other joint has a different purpose. So when something
Is
doesn't
that by
work
design,
right,
or is that just accident?
I think God did really good with that.
That's
yeah,
pretty- that's
I think
pretty
it's- I
clever.
think it's by design. So what happens, so the thoracic's the middle part of the back. So that's where your mobility should be from. But the low back should be stable. So when people sit there and twist on it, turn it all around, it's not great for it.
The mid back should be mobile.
Yes.
That-
That's where your golf swing should come from.
The mid back.
Yes.
Interesting. What if my mid back is gitchy? What do I
Well,
do?
then you come to me to fix
Okay,
it.
that's what you
and
do.
then that's why I always say, though, if I improve your golf game, I want full credit.
Okay, it needs a lot of improvement, trust me. I got a question. I told somebody that I was doing this podcast with you, and they said, yeah, I need to go to a chiropractor, but I don't, if nothing's wrong with me, can I go to a chiropractor? Is there
Absolutely.
like, what do they call it, a wellness check or something
Wellness,
like that?
maintenance, just to kind of keep the body good. I believe in
So what
it.
would you do if somebody just came in and goes, nothing in particular, but I just want you to help me? What would you do?
I would just I'd ask them some questions. What do they do active-wise? Like just, if there's anything, do they sit a lot through the day, stand? Tells me a little bit probably what's going on with them.
Right.
But usually, almost on anybody, you could find something that might need a little. Sometimes it's just
That's probably
teaching them
true.
things. That's the practical part of it, teaching them how to sit better, how to stand and walk better,
Right.
just little helpful hints.
And then I was watching an NBA game the other night, and I've seen this in the past with Steve Nash, old Mavericks player and two-time MVP. People don't remember that. But he used to have lower back problems. And when he wasn't playing, he would be on the sideline by the bench, but not sitting on the bench, laying on the floor on his stomach. And I've heard people say, man, my back's really killing me. I'm going to sleep on the floor tonight. Is there something to that, or is that an old wives' tale?
I believe that. I think the bed
You
should be
believe
very.
it?
Well, I think the bed should be very supportive, and most of us sleep in a bed. But I do have a couple.
Most of us.
Well, I've
To all
got
you bears out there that sleep in the...
Well, I've got a couple of patients. I have
What?
one patient that his back does so much better when he sleeps on the floor, and I think just the good support of it. And that usually means they either have a really bad mattress or something. But think about it. We need to just have that good support. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of soft, squishy mattresses.
Hate them
don't
squishy
love
mattresses.
them.
I like
And
the
we're gonna have
harder
a
the
whole-
better.
We'll have a whole episode on mattresses.
I bet
one
you
day.
have some
I
thoughts
love
for
that.
me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But in general, I mean, for some people, sleeping on the floor might be a good thing.
Yeah,
It-
and then not solid
forever.
floor. I mean, obviously Nash isn't there for 30 minutes. He's there for probably 10.
True.
But maybe a little pallet of some kind, a little squishy.
Pallet?
A pallet. It's
Oh, a
Oklahoma.
pallet.
A
I thought you said
pallet.
A pellet. I'm like,
a pallet, like a little squishy.
I'm familiar. I can't believe I'm familiar with a pallet. Yes, my mom used to make me a pallet to watch TV.
Yes.
And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, a pallet.
It's like a
and now I look
fort.
back on it, she just threw a rug on the ground, and I was like, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom, for
Times
that one.
change.
All right, let's get to your, I want one more thing on this.
Okay.
As we dive into just the weird things of human anatomy. Popping your knuckles, is that a thing?
It's
is it a therapeutic or time waste?
No, I don't think it's therapeutic if you're not doing it correctly. So when you get the kids that sit there and start pushing down on them like that,
Yeah.
I always tell patients if you've got to do it, especially the young ones when you're trying to just brainwash them into not doing bad things. But if they-
Educate, not brainwash.
Okay, I'm sorry, educate. Is to, like if they pull and they extend the joint, I'd say that'd be the better of the evils. But to
Yeah.
sit there and smush on them, yeah, I don't love it.
It doesn't, why do people do that?
Nervous habit. Like I said,
It
I
really is
think
a nervous habit.
and I think
They just get
really
off
like
on
the noise
they get off
thing.
on the noise of it. I think you're
Yeah.
right. So we're this podcast we're taping it tomorrow. Actually tonight, I guess, or technically tomorrow. Clocks go back.
Yay, yeah.
So it's that time of year, which I'm not a fan of, because
I
we
don't
put the bikinis away, and we get really sedentary,
And it's
now
dark when you go home.
It's dark when you go home, and
don't
now,
wanna
I mean, everybody loves the holidays, but the holidays are about eating and drinking and talking with family. All of a sudden, you're not active, and all of a sudden, your body just
You're
go
like
into-
a bear. You go into hibernation.
We are. So how do you? I mean, you get weight gain and stiffness. How do you? I guess how do you combat that? Are there easy ways to do that other than making your appointment with Dr. Mary Collings? Are
Well, of
there
course.
little tricks to do that could maybe put that off?
Well, I think our bodies know when it's time for a time change. I think everybody starts getting uncomfortable and just kind of just uneasy in their own skin kind of feel.
Yeah.
And so I would say, stay with the regular activities. So, even though it's dark at nighttime doesn't mean you can't still go out and do a little bit of a
It's
walk.
hard though.
I know, but it's better for you.
It is better. It's better for you to walk than to Netflix and chill.
Well, or you can just put it on and you can listen to it while you go.
You know what? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You're exactly right. All right, there's some Dr. Mary's chiropractical for you. So set your clocks back, but don't give up. Walk. Do
Move.
something.
Just move.
Move in the dark.
We don't care what you do, just move.
Hey, it's rough. All right, social media, Dr. Mary. She has her own YouTube channel, Dr. Mary Collings. You can go there and watch all the episodes of Dr. Mary's Chiropractical, including E1 and soon E2. She's also on Facebook, Highland Park Spine and Sports Medicine, Twitter and Instagram, both at Dr. Mary Collings. The website, drmarycollings.com. Make an appointment there. And again, send in your questions, comments, or if you want to be a partner in the show, I bet you would be open to that.
Absolutely.
And she answers her email, she says. Test her on this. Come on. Dr. Mary at drmarycollings.com. So what are your plans next week? I'm sure you're off. What are you going to Paris or Australia? What are you doing next week?
Actually, heading to Nashville.
I knew it was something. What are you going to Nashville for?
For a little girls' trip for a pre-birthday.
Pre-birthday? What is up with you and your
And we're
pre?
going to go to Nashville to see one of my favorite artists, Amos Lee. He's going to be playing with the Nashville Symphony, which is going to be, I
That'll
think,
be
just
really
amazing.
cool, actually.
So my friend Sharon and I are going to go to Nashville, and it's also the CMA. So who knows? Maybe a little star
Yeah.
searching, a little.
Yeah, because you're
see
such a
what's
big
out there.
country music fan. I mean, bring me back a report. I want to hear that.
I will let you know.
All right, thanks for listening and watching to Chiropractical. I'm Richie Witt, reminding you again why Dr. Mary is the best, most caring chiropractor in DFW, because she's got your back.